how do you know what's literal and what's not? I assume that's speaking about in the Bible. There's some parts that are obviously, to be taken plainly and literally, and there's other parts that are metaphor and symbolism. Some of that is just with knowing what you're reading, some sort of understanding of literature, I guess. If you pick up a book and open it up without knowing what it is and just flip to any page and start reading, you're pretty quick going to have an idea if you're reading fiction. You're going to pretty quick have an idea of if you're reading poetry or if you're reading an account of the Civil War. There's a lot of things where in the Bible where it flat says. Proverbs specifically proclaims, here's what this is and here's what it's for, that it is wisdom to be passed down. Solomon writing to his son. And that they're kind of fortune cookie nuggets of wisdom. Not promises, just wisdom. And the Bible will say Jesus took the crowd aside and taught, speaking in parables. And a parable being a symbolic metaphoric story to get a point across, he's not speaking literal on that. Beyond just, I'm not really sure beyond that. Just kind of knowing the genre of what is being written. If you're reading along, like in Jonah was the example that got brought up, and it's talking about here's this prophet, and here's what God has called him to do, and he's not wanting to do it, so he's running away, and then he gets swallowed by a whale, and that's symbolic because, well, no, you're not reading a metaphor. You've been reading an actual narrative story, specifically telling what happened to this person. It's not all of a sudden going to switch into metaphor right in the middle of a narrative. And so I think some of it is just a little application of common sense. And if you're not sure, to kind of back off and ask God, God, this doesn't really quite make sense. You're reading in Revelation where it's describing the locusts that are released from the pit and what they look like and what they do. And you're thinking, surely that's got to be metaphor. Is that symbolism? Can they really look like that? And and you're not sure, so go ask God. This is one of those things. Why is he vague on that? Well, because he wants you to come ask him, maybe, or maybe you just got other things to be focusing on.
Glory to you, King of all days. Glory to you in the highest place.